Today on The Social. The verdict is in. Jonathan Bailey is People's Sexiest Man Alive. But was this a choice for the wicked or for good? And should we teach kids to be disrespectful? Why Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell believe teaching their kids to talk back will help them as adults. Then, the definitive guide to cooking pasta. From old world classics to Italian-Canadian favorites, the latest cookbook from Lidia Bastianich. Plus, death by advance request is the latest push from advocates of Canada's MAID system. The implications of making that choice before your decision-making capacity is lost. It all starts now on The Social.
Good. Yes, have a seat, have a seat. Nice to see that the time change hasn't dampened your spirits. Because I've been yawning a lot the last few days, everybody. Welcome to The Social. We'd like to welcome back Executive Director of The Walrus, Jennifer Hollett. Welcome back.
Great to be here. And I have to say, I've been recognized out in public for being on The Social. Oh. And the audience is just so friendly and loyal, so thank you all.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
We do have the best fans.
That's nice to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, the verdict is in. According to People magazine, the sexiest man alive is Jonathan Bailey of Bridgerton and Wicked fame. My goodness. My, oh my, oh my. I don't know if you know this, but he is the first publicly out gay person to receive this award. Ah, I don't even, who cares? You know what? I just say fine. Fine is fine. Fine is fine. Jen, what is your reaction to this choice?
Meh. Oh! Wow, Jen, how come the meh?
Obviously, he's very attractive.
Yes.
Throw in a cute guy with a cute puppy, that helps.
It's true.
But it's very garden variety, like your typical sexiest man alive.
To that point,
Wow.
well, I'll
get out of that balloon.
That's how I feel.
I mean, I feel like you have a lot to say about this, and then I'll get to my point afterwards. You go.
I think he's so hot. You know what? I love him. I wasn't aware of who he was before Bridgerton, and when we were all stuck at home and everybody was just saying, I burned for you, I was thinking of this guy, actually, because I don't care if he's gay or straight.
Sure.
He's just hot. Hot is hot, according to me. Mm-hmm. But what I love about him is I think there is a ruggedness about him. He looks like a guy's guy and a girl's guy. And he also said something in an interview for this that I thought was really intriguing. And he said every straight man should have a gay male friend. And I thought, what a really interesting thing to say. And I will say this, I can only speak from my experience. I think everybody should have gay friends, first of all, obviously. But specifically men, I think any men that I know who are straight, who have a gay friend, are a better man. Period.
I mean, this is great public policy. I support this.
Okay.
But in terms of like, it just seems like, of course.
Garden variety. You've
To
seen this
give
before.
you an example of like just what you're talking about. So while I do think it's progress, obviously a first out gay man, very great. But the last 5 People's Sexiest covers, can we just have a look at them?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we got there John Krasinski,
What do they have in
2024,
common?
Patrick Dempsey,
yeah.
2023, Chris Evans, 2022, and Paul Rudd, 2021. Have they really made any progress when it's just another white brunette man?
With the same beard. He even
Basically
has
the same
fucking beard.
I don't know.
That's
It
interesting.
seems like there's a vibe there that's very similar.
Okay, I did not notice that, but you know what? For years, I was always kind of criticizing, like, I don't know if this guy is hot, and then I realized, no, this has nothing to do with abs and jawlines. This is Hollywood's way of saying, you are next. This is the next hot guy. Get used to this face, because he's gonna be in billboards everywhere. We know the success of Bridgerton, which everybody kind of knows him for. He'd been a great actor for a long time and probably number 10 on the call sheet. But when you see him on the cover, he's now #1 on the call sheet. So to me, this is all about business. It's like, prepare yourself. Part 2 of Wicked is coming out, so you're gonna see a lot more of him. He did very well in Jurassic, the last movie that he did with Scarlett Johansson. So I feel like this is Hollywood's way of saying, get used to him, he's here to stay, he's our next leading man.
Is he the sexiest man alive?
It doesn't matter,
Jen,
it doesn't
can I
matter.
ask you?
Okay.
Who do you think is sexy?
Okay, so for me, especially today, all eyes on Zoran Mamdani, who is running for mayor of New York City. Not only do I think he has a look,
He has that look. He has the same look. He's basically got the beard and the brunette. Okay,
He's
go for
kinda
it,
the
though.
same look.
Go for it.
It's
You
about
defend.
his intelligence, it's his inner beauty.
Oh!
I just think what he is doing right now,
Yeah.
making a mayoral race about the people and affordability.
Sexy.
He is positioned
Everybody
to be the
knows
next
who he
mayor.
is, right? Yeah.
I think he's positioned to be the next mayor of New York City, and I think what he's doing in politics is very sexy. And for me, it's not just about the look, that's part of it, but it's also about what you represent and how you're engaging with
But
people.
I will point out, he has the same scruffy beard and the same haircut, Jen. I'm just saying.
Broad shoulders.
Broad shoulders, same good, nice jawline. I don't know, Jen. But you know what?
Probably has abs.
Let's move on to another notable person. Margaret Atwood's memoir comes out today. And according to reviews, she lays into childhood bullies, blasts male critics, and condescending interviewers, and reveals how the Canadian literary scene was at times a hotbed of vicious gossip, jealousy, and backstabbing. Wow. All right, so when asked why she wrote the memoir now, Atwood said, people died. There's things that you can say that you couldn't say when they were alive. So when is the right time to call people out professionally? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I don't think I could do this, even if they were all dead. I feel like the reason is I'm glad that Margaret's doing it, though. I'm kind of excited to read this. But I feel like even though there would be people who I'd love to sort of like shine a light on, people who many people would think is, oh, you know, the perfect person, they've been so nice or helpful. Sometimes you want to shed a light on the other side of that story. But everyone has their own stories of people. And so I feel like fans of whomever she might be criticizing or family members might have their own take on whatever this is. So I just don't think you win when you call people out.
Well, they
in
can
that
write
way.
their own memoir.
Well,
Sure.
does everyone have-
Or their own tweet. I mean, I was brought up in the Catholic tradition of forgive and forget. It is very hard to do, but I believe in the spirit of that. So I'm more of a fan of if any of us have a situation, I mean, this is a working relationship, to address it in the moment.
Yep.
I know that can be hard to do, but I think grudges are a lot of weight on those who carry them.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference, though, because I'm waiting to hear what the stories are, because a grudge is one thing. I think there's a gender component to this, because to me, it shows that nothing has really changed. Margaret Atwood is in her 80s, and she is still waiting for people to die before she can even talk about them. And I think that's really interesting for women. I think for a lot of us, we have seen and endured a lot of stuff in the office, in the workplace, in relationships. There is a consequence for women who speak out against people, even if it's something really horrendous. And so I do think that, and she just proved it. She's like, I gotta wait till they're dead to talk about them, because she's one of the most powerful authors in the world, and she's scared of consequences. So I'm not gonna be speaking up. I don't know if I would ever speak up against people who I have stories about. I might wait till they're dead as well, because we have words for women who do this because we like our women a certain way.
But would you chat with me
know?
if something happened?
Yes.
Would you chat with me and be like,
Yes.
hey,
Yes,
can we
but
talk
this is
about it?
different.
Off
Yeah.
camera, away from
Yeah.
camera.
Listen, you know what's very
absolutely.
interesting? I'm with you, Jen. I don't think it's right to wait till the person's passed away, because then you're putting it on the family of that person to kind of hear this, and like they weren't there for it, so how are they going to respond? But I will say I understand where Atwood is coming from, and I don't think it's a gender thing, because this reminds me of a few years ago. Last year, Quincy Jones died, but a few years back, 5 years probably before he passed away, he started opening up about all kinds of stuff that he had been sitting on for decades, and they were bombshells. And when you hear what he had to say, you'll realize why he couldn't say it when those people were alive. The first one that hit me was he called the Beatles the worst musicians in the world. He said Ringo couldn't play the drums to save his life. He also accused Michael Jackson of stealing a whole lot of songs. You couldn't say that while he was alive, especially because you worked on Thriller, Michael's biggest album. And this bombshell, he said that comedian Richard Pryor and Marlon Brando were lovers. Could you imagine if he had said that while those two men were alive, those two juggernauts? So I understand that it depends on who you're talking about and the level of your career, where you kind of do have to wait till people are resting in peace somewhere quietly.
Well, they're not resting in peace after that anymore.
I know, it's a lot.
Well, ultimately, Margaret Atwood is sharing her life story. We're very interested in that. She's an incredible writer,
Yes,
and that is her story to tell. And we all have a story to tell. So that's my hope, is in a memoir or in fiction that we think about our own story and how we tell it. So I'm looking forward to reading as well.
I
have so
can't
much
wait.
respect for her.
Margaret, if you're watching, please come on the social to talk about your book.
Spill your beans here.
All right, let's take a break, everybody. Should we be teaching kids to push back against authority? So why Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell believe that teaching their kids, their daughters, to talk back will help them as adults. We'll be back with that right after this.
That relates to this.
Tomorrow on The Social, big feminine energy. From bimbos to trad wives, the hidden truth behind extreme femininity trends is revealed in a new documentary. This week on The Social, fleeced to meet you. What to expect when the country comes to the city at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair.
Animals. Listen, whatever your take is on the stories that we're discussing here, we'd love to hear from you online. The conversations happening on social media, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok.
So Dax Shepard revealed on the Armchair Expert podcast that he and wife Kristen Bell are raising entitled daughters that are allowed to, quote, talk back and be disrespectful. Why, you might ask? Well, Dax said that he wants them to always advocate for themselves, whether he thinks they're right or wrong. So Jen, do you think encouraging kids to talk back is going to serve them well as adults?
I used to work in this very studio as a Much Music VJ back in the day. This was the early 2000s. And in that era, the biggest thing was the Osbournes. And everyone was obsessed on how the kids were swearing and how Ozzy and Sharon were parenting their kids. And this was also a tipping point for reality TV becoming mainstream. And I remember seeing in a news magazine program an expert on family saying, actually, this is a really good family. They're spending time together, they're engaged, the parents are talking and listening to their kids. And I think that Dax is being provocative. He's a podcast host, but it sounds like they are a very engaged family. They're listening to their kids, they're having back and forth, that the family unit is strong. And I think that is really good because they're high profile parents. They easily could have their kids raised by nannies. So yeah, it's a little provocative and shocking, but I think it's a good thing. I think they are actively giving advice to their kids and that the family is engaged as a unit. I heard like 2 claps. They're not convinced. They're not convinced.
They're warming
audience.
up. I want to find out from the parents what you guys think about
Well,
this.
I mean, I just think, for me, I do not think this is great advice. And I hear everything you're saying and I'm taking it in. But for me, I've been a former manager and I'm just picturing, as a female, that moment of where somebody comes up to you and they start like mouthing off. They start being disrespectful. And I just don't think that that's going to incur any goodwill. And that's going to actually, like, to me, a lot of times it's like you don't know what you don't know when you're starting out in a career, and to me that could be so off-putting. I don't know if he's setting them up for success in that case.
Weren't we just talking about the earlier segment how it's important for women to speak up and we still can't speak up?
Speak up and
But I think
disrespectful are
it's-
2 different
and
things.
I also think it's about, on top of that, I think it's about knowing when and where. And I think it takes time to build confidence, build skills, and build that kind of like repertoire where you actually have enough life experience to be able to say whatever it is that you want to say, speak truth to power at the right time when you have the right amount of knowledge. That's what I think.
I'll say, as the only one here who has a daughter, just like they're raising a daughter, I don't like the word disrespectful, but there's a spirit behind what he is saying that I absolutely do align with. And so I'm not raising my daughter to be disrespectful, but I am raising my daughter to understand her voice and her words have value. And to me, this is not a behavior for us and our family as much as it is what are the values that you have. Your values should dictate how you are raising your children. So she has seen, and the way that we all treat each other, we all treat each other with respect. We treat elders with respect. We treat people with respect. But respect is a two-way street. And I think too often, speaking as a 48-year-old recovering people pleaser with a side of perfectionism, we have done a disservice to girls generally in North American culture, that we always consistently put ourselves second, that we always put other people's needs first. So there's a middle ground there that I want to believe that they're talking about, which is raising your girls to put other people first, while it sounds like a sweet thing, turns into a very toxic trait, in my opinion, as a woman when we're older. So
I totally agree with you.
I look at my daughter and I always tell her, you're gonna stand up for people who need to be stood up for.
That's great.
You're gonna
Great
stand
advice.
up for yourself. Because the way I look at her is I'm raising a leader, and I imagine her in a boardroom being the only woman, and I'll be damned if anyone is gonna mansplain to my...
And here's the now, if Dax and Kristen said that, I think we would all be on board. But when you say, I am going to encourage, whether they are right or wrong, for them to be disrespectful, I would love for the teachers who have to deal with them from 9 to 3 to have a little say-so in that. The ref who's part of their soccer team to have a little say-so in that. There's something about it. First of all, I don't think children need help to be disrespectful. Have you been around a child? Rude right off the bat. I think you have to learn what you want is to not take whatever's happened in your life, because that's what I'm hearing from the two of them. You went through something, and you want to make sure your daughters don't go through it. So you think you're going to arm them with this information. But suppose you have a daughter who doesn't have that kind of personality. Suppose you have a wallflower who's like, I don't have that voice to speak up and be disrespectful. It makes me very uncomfortable. You're not taking into account your child. You're putting your stuff on your kid.
Let me give you an example. I agree.
I think you should always teach your children. You want them to be able to stand up for themselves. And when they know they're right and they can prove it, to say so in the moment. But the word disrespect is where you lose everybody, because you could be the greatest person in the world, but if you are difficult to work with and be around, you will not be, no one wants to be around you. I'm sorry.
Surely they know their kids better than we do.
Yeah, but we're also talking about two very privileged kids growing up with very rich parents, and I think arming them with the ability to like mouth off to people, I just don't see how that makes a better world for us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I think my last point on this was an example. So a lot of us know the example where somebody comes over, it's a family friend or it's a creepy uncle, and they always say, go and hug your uncle, go and hug and kiss your uncle, because it's expected, especially of girls, to be kind and polite. And I've seen it time and time again where the little girl is not comfortable going to give the weird uncle a hug or a kiss. And I'll be honest, it's not disrespect to say, no, mommy, thank you, I don't want to. And I'm going to stand by my daughter if she says
but she doesn't have to be rude to that person.
Right.
I also, people do that to me, and I'm a woman, I go, if your child is not feeling it, they do not have, I tell the child, I go, you don't have to hug me, we just met, it's okay.
Yeah.
So it's also on us adults to also guide them as well.
Absolutely.
Parenting expert Andrea Bain. You're welcome.
So Jen, you always have really exciting events associated with your magazine, The Walrus, and you're putting one on today. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So this evening I'll be hosting The Walrus Talks at Home on place and belonging. This is a part of a series we're doing with the Belonging Forum. So think about how we create spaces to welcome people in. Public libraries, parks, art. We'll be getting into tonight at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's free and online at thewalrus.ca, so we invite you to join us.
Love. Yes, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. It's kind of the opposite of being disrespectful. How can we create spaces in where we can be ourselves, but also like everyone is welcome?
We got enough disrespect going around the world right now.
Well, thank you so much, as always, for being here and sharing your thoughts. We love having you here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Up next, everybody, the brothers behind the hit comedy series, The Office Movers, Jay and Trey Richards, join us live next. We're back, everybody. So our next guests are brothers and Brampton, Ontario natives. Oh, yes, Brampton. B-Town's in the house, who turned their real-life experiences into a hilarious television show. Take a look.
I don't know why you're treating me like the worst moving company in the region. You should see what these other guys are doing out there. All right,
right, new space.
You say new space or no space?
New contracts. Where is the elevator?
It's busted. You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
You quoted me for an 8 a.m. move at 10 o'clock now.
Oh no, it's only 9:17.
No.
Here to chat with us about the second season of their hit series, The Office Movers. Please welcome Jay and Trey Richards. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Good to have you here.
Welcome. Okay, so congrats, season 2. Always a big deal. Always a big deal. So you say that this was based on your real life experiences. So Jay, can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, my dad's been in the commercial moving space for years and years. Then he started his business in 2007. I was at the tender age of 12 years old, and he says, "You're ready to work. Come join the workforce." So like it was me, and then growing up, it started to be him, and then he like drag our friends from school, our enemies from school. He like hit them up on Facebook and bring them down to work. So it was like very young guys working with these older guys of different backgrounds, and it just made for some of the best comedy.
Yeah. And what's your dad's name?
Richie.
Richie, good job, Richie. It worked.
Hey,
It all worked out, Richie. It all worked out. All right, so you say your first season of the show was kind of like your rookie season. So what did you learn in your first season?
I love basketball. So I wanted to play basketball. It never worked for me. So yeah, this was like my rookie season. But I know, you know what? Thanks.
Let's get on.
We learned a lot. But I think it was just mixing YouTube and mixing TV and just what we did on YouTube and trying to learn what's going on in the TV world and fuse the two to make something new and something fresh. And I think we did that with Office Movers. So
yes, you did.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference between TV and YouTube?
You have a real team in front of you, a team of professionals.
For the help.
Permits, safety, precautions.
Lunch.
You get lunch. Water.
So earlier this year, you also collaborated with Drake on a video. We're gonna take a look.
Yes.
Plug the mind piece. And I need that. A PV there. Ah, touch me, that's blessed, no?
Yeah, but wait, words still, but more times she just gonna wanna hear you say it straight up, though. You know those? Bro, prop up the Prada proper, bro. What do you mean? You don't get the Prada and hide the Prada, bro. You can't hide the Prada.
Yes.
Okay, what is that? This is a Valentine's? What exactly is happening?
Yeah,
here?
this is the promo for his album, Sexy Songs for You. He hit us up just before Valentine's Day, say, I got this general idea. Can you guys bring it to life? So this is a group of Toronto guys, you know, they've been through a lot, you know, tough relationship with love, and they just refuse to say, I love this girl.
It was so good. So
He said everything but that, man. But,
You guys seem like a lot of fun. You want to play a game?
I'm down to
Let's play a game. Let's play a game.
Let's play a game.
We say this, of course, because both of you on your YouTube channel do a game often. It's called Toronto Man's Translations. So we're going to have one of you read out a Toronto phrase or a saying, and then the other one, you're going to have to translate it back to us as something we might understand. So, Trey, you're going to pick a phrase first.
I'd love to. You know what? I'm so excited to have these cards. Like, I feel official. All right. My Duke's crib.
The residence of my mother.
What?
Is
Really?
that true?
Yeah.
Your mom is your Dukes? Mama Dukes?
Yeah, Mom Dukes.
Mom
Yeah.
Dukes.
It could be your Papa Dukes, too. It's usually Dukes is primarily the mother.
Okay.
My Duke's crib.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys use it in a sentence before we move on, just to make sure you guys got
I'm
it?
going to be moving to Mama Duke's crib.
Yeah,
to
my
Duke's
Dukes.
crib.
Yeah,
to my Duke's crib.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. All right, Jay, you're up.
Let's see. You're a bean.
Is it TV friendly? It's okay. Okay.
It's so hard to like translate this. It just means you're. I don't even know what that means. How is
Is this like 6'7", where no one understands what it
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you're silly.
Okay.
You're silly, you're unreliable. You're all over the place.
It can be used different.
All right, let's do one more. Which one?
Trey, you do one?
Let's do, what is it? T-Dot Goon Scrap.
What?
Goon scrap?
Say that again.
T-Dot Goon Scrap?
T-Dot Goon Scrap.
Is that like a fight? Is that a Toronto fight?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Just so, yeah.
Did I do that?
Wow, good job, Cynthia.
It's a scuffle based in Toronto.
Yes.
It's a scuffle based in Toronto,
Toronto, yeah.
as opposed to
Anywhere else in the world.
Trey, Jay. This was a lot of fun. Congrats.
having us.
Thank you for being here.
That was awesome.
Okay, we want to tell everybody watching The Office Movers Season 2 releases on Crave this Friday, so please check it out. Don't go anywhere. After the break, celebrity chef Lidia Bastianich is here. We'll be right back.
Can we stay?
Welcome back. Our next guest needs no introduction. She's an Emmy Award-winning TV host, best-selling cookbook author, James Beard Award winner, and the heart behind many incredible restaurants.
Yes, today is our lucky day because she is here with recipes and tips from her latest cookbook, Lidia's The Art of Pasta. Please welcome back to the show, Lidia Bastianich.
Thank you.
So good to have you here. You are the queen of Italian cooking, so we want to start off with something very simple, and I want you to finish this debate or give us the answer to this one. Now, when we're cooking pasta, some people put the salt in the water right away when the water is cold, and others wait till the waters come to a boil to put in the salt. Which way is the right way, Lidia?
When you're ready to put the pasta, just before the water is boiling. Yeah, because, you know, as the water boils, it evaporates, concentration of salt differs, and it chemically changes also. So let the water boil.
And then put the salt
Throw
in.
the salt and then the pasta.
Okay, now we know.
Okay, all right.
All right.
We sorted that out.
Settled.
Okay, everybody write that down. What do you say to people who throw their water out and they drain the pasta?
Oof.
What do you say to people who just let that water go down the drain?
Well, no, don't do that. Save some. Because when you're, let's say, what I recommend is you cook your pasta, you have your sauce. You take a little bit of the sauce in a pan, not all of it because I don't like smothered pasta.
Okay.
Okay.
So you put the pasta, the best thing is really to fish it right out of the water, not even drain it. Because you're right there, you put it right into your sauce, and you finish cooking. Cooking it always a little bit al dente, so you finish cooking in the sauce. Okay. And then, you know, sometimes somebody's late for whatever, for the table or whatever, you have to wait a little more, it dries out. Instead of running for more sauce or butter or oil, a little bit of the pasta water, just to kind of loosens everything up and it makes it
nice.
These are gems. Okay. So we have some delicious food here. We're gonna start off with a classic, spaghetti and meatballs.
Sure.
Now, most people, I understand, deep fry their meatballs, but you don't do it that way. How do you cook your meatballs?
You know, that's a preference, but it's maybe a little bit healthier.
Okay.
But there's different ways. Some people just roll their meatballs and throw it right in the sauce, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
And some people fry it.
And some people dive right in, but okay. Mel's already eating, go ahead.
I'll talk.
They said we could.
Yeah.
Some people fry them. Some people even roll them in flour and fry them. And that adds, you know, a little flavor. It sort of seals it. The idea is so the meatball doesn't fall apart.
Okay.
But also the flour that you flour releases in the sauce and it kind of makes the sauce a little creamier.
Okay.
I like it in the oven because I get the effect of the crunchiness on the outside. It seals the meatball and it's not fried in a sense.
A little bit healthier.
Yeah. And
little bit healthier.
And then you throw it in the sauce and let it finish.
Can we talk about the sauce?
Sure.
What is Lidia Bastianich's tip for the best sauce?
Well, sauce, you know, there's all different kind of sauce, but let's go to marinara. It's the simplest sauce. It has 3 ingredients. Well, oil, good olive oil, number 1. Garlic, sliced out of garlic, and the tomatoes. The tomatoes, I like the plum tomatoes. You know, the long one, kind of the sexy tomatoes.
Sexy, the sexy one.
Well, you had that guy on before. The sexy, we're talking about good-looking guys.
Yes.
Oh, Chef Gino.
I talk about good-looking tomatoes.
Okay. I'm with that. A sexy tomato. Who doesn't want a sexy tomato?
There you go. But it's good, you know, the San Marzano tomatoes, and they're kind of plump and all that. And they're good. I'll tell you even why they're the best.
Okay, tell me.
Because they have a thin skin,
a
lot of pulp, not too much juice. So it disintegrates in your sauce. Not too much juice. You don't have to cook it too long. And very little seeds. Seeds have tannin and make it bitter.
Yeah.
So you take those plum tomatoes. I crush them by hands, nice. So garlic, oil, those tomatoes in there.
Yeah.
So a little salt. I put a little peperoncino.
Okay.
And I like to put in a whole kind of sprig of basil. You throw that in.
Fresh.
Because, you know, when you throw basil in the sauce, it changes color. So throw the whole thing, let aroma out, and then when you're finished, the whole thing of marinara should take, once the sauce boils, No more than 20 minutes. It's the easiest, the fastest.
That's okay.
Yeah, and you pull that branch,
out.
the branch out, and then you're ready to dress whatever and add some fresh basil.
Done.
So that is the classic. The next one that you've made for us is a chestnut pappardelle with wild mushrooms.
Ooh.
Can you tell us about this?
Well, that's a fall dish, certainly. The mushrooms are in. You know, the use of different. So this book,
Sorry, it's really good. I'm sorry, you're listening. I'm listening, Lidia.
Go ahead. Sound effects are good.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the fall, and the mushrooms are fine. But the different flavors, flours that we use in pasta, you know, in this book, I give you all those options. I give you fresh pasta, and I give you dry pasta, and I give you different sauces to use with the pasta, the shapes and all of that.
Okay.
So this is a fresh pasta. The spaghetti is a dry pasta.
Okay.
The fresh pasta is made with chestnut flour. Now, you know, people didn't always have enough of anything to eat, so whatever they could make into flour, chestnuts, chechi beans, all of rice, everything, that's all good to make flours.
Okay.
So chestnuts, but chestnuts give it a really delicious.
Did you hear me? It's very delicious. She's not lying, it's so good.
A little sweet, huh?
Yeah, a little sweetness to it. It tastes so good.
Yeah, and it's light,
Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, so our final dish, you brought a cavatappi mixed with herb, pesto, and broccoli. Did I say that properly? Cavatappi.
Brava.
Okay, good.
Brava. Good job.
Cavatappi.
So good. We're going to try it while you talk about it, if that's okay.
So cavatappi means screwdriver. And the pasta really, I'm used to handling with my hands.
No, you can do whatever you want here.
So this is the screwdriver, and it has a nice name. You know, there's more than 300 different shapes of dry pasta.
I did not know that.
All kinds. But it's important because the shape and the thing absorbs the sauce. So this is a simple sauce made out of spinach, a pesto, you know, put it in the food processor, raw. A little bit of garlic, oil, a little bit of pine nuts. If you don't have pine nuts, walnuts are fine. Almonds are fine. And you render it into this pesto. You cook the pasta separately in this, and what you do is that you throw the broccoli's or any vegetable you do while the pasta is cooking right in that water. You don't have to put a separate or cook or whatever. So you let the vegetable cook with the pasta. It flavors the pasta, and then you just take it out and you dress it with the pesto. Pesto should not be cooked.
No.
No. I mean, no, because you want the freshness. The freshness. And when you cook it, it changes color. And all of that. So you want to have your bowl nice, warm. You pick up the pasta, put it right in there. A little bit of water is fine. Actually, you can use a little bit of water to loosen it up. Put the pesto in, toss it, and cheese, and voila.
And that's it.
That's it.
Good to know. And Lidia, you've been giving us so many good nuggets, but I understand you have a tip for getting all the sauce when you're packing up for the leftovers. We need to know this one, Lidia. How do we get all the sauce?
I always do. Whether you're pulling the tomatoes out of a can or in a pot, you're cooking a sauce, you add a little bit of the water. It could be pasta water. It could be a regular water. You know, water is...
Just get everything.
Wash it a little.
I was thinking more a piece of bread
Swish
to
it.
get the corners, you know? That's how I get the rest of my sauce.
That's a good tip.
Right?
That's a good tip.
Well, Lidia, this is why we love having you here, because the food is phenomenal every time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, it is called Lidia's The Art of Pasta. It is available now, but our studio audience is very, very lucky today. You're going home with your copy today. Oh, right. A good one. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, recently, Canada learned that beloved author Robert Munsch has been approved for a medically assisted death, also known as MAID, after being diagnosed with dementia and Parkinson's disease. Now, this is just one story among many in a growing discourse around MAID access in this country.
The latest push among many Canadians is for death by advance requests. So here to dig into this with us is family physician and MAID practitioner, Dr. Chantal Perreault, and the CEO of Dying with Dignity Canada, Helen Long. Welcome to The Social to you both. Thank you. So, Dr. Perreault, if we use the example of Robert Munsch, he's already been approved for medically assisted death, even though he's not at this exact time dying. So how might he qualify for MAID under the country's laws?
Well, the only thing we know about Robert Munsch and his diagnosis is what he's told the press and what we've read in the media. We don't really know if he's actually been formally assessed and approved for MAID. And in order for that to happen, he would have to have 2 assessments with independent clinicians doing the assessments, and he'd have to be found eligible. It's very possible for someone with dementia to be found eligible for MAID because dementia is a terminal illness. It does result in death. And we call that death a reasonably foreseeable natural death because they're on an active trajectory towards death. So while people outside of medicine might not think he's actively dying, in medicine, because he has a diagnosis that will lead to his death, we consider that a terminal condition.
That's really interesting. Helen, there are calls pushing for what Cynthia mentioned off the top, which is advance request access within Canada's MAID system. So what exactly is an advance request, and are they actually legal in Canada?
Yeah, so an advance request would basically be a written document that outlines the situation in which you would want to have MAID in the future after you've lost capacity. It's not legal in Canada per se at the moment. However, in Quebec, they have passed advance request legislation. So in Quebec, you can create an advance request. You have to be able to access healthcare in Quebec. And there's about 1,600 of those that have been prepared since October of 2024 when it became legal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Dr. Perot, if Canadians have access to advance requests, just describe what that might look like on a practical level.
Well, first of all, most people do want to have some kind of advance request. They fear having some kind of catastrophic illness or accident or something that would make them incapable of making their own choices. And so if there were an advance request, what we would want to see as clinicians is very detailed information about when somebody would want to receive medical assistance in dying if they were no longer capable of making that decision for themselves. So for example, if someone couldn't recognize their children or their partner anymore, if they couldn't follow the baseball game and understand what was going on and that was something important to them, if they couldn't do their own tax returns and understand their finances, if they needed help with toileting and taking care of their everyday needs. So we would want that kind of granular level in an advance request so that as a clinician approaching the patient that we hadn't met or didn't know or was not capable of giving us the answer, that we would have a detailed amount of information from them about what they would have wanted.
Wow, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Helen, just last week, the federal government released the results of a national survey that they themselves conducted on advance requests specifically. What did those findings reveal?
Yeah, really those findings just reaffirmed everything we know. This is a topic we've been talking about for a while. 69% of Canadians support advance requests with a diagnosis of a capacity diminishing disease like an Alzheimer's or dementia. But surprisingly, perhaps to some people, 76% of Canadians believe that any of us should be able to prepare an advance request in the event that something happens, which could be some other disease state, but also like a catastrophic fall resulting in a brain injury that you would not recover from.
Okay. Wow. So Dr. Perot, this national survey also consulted healthcare providers, most of whom were in support of advance requests. So take us into the room as a MAID practitioner. How would advance requests improve the current state of care, do you think, for Canadians?
Well, first of all, if we have the possibility of advance requests, many more people who would write an advance request would have thought through their end-of-life wishes. So they would be clear, they'd be articulate, they would have a much better understanding globally as a population before reaching that point of what they would want. Also, being able to have an advance request would really alleviate a significant amount of what we call anticipatory anxiety, which is anxiety in the here and now about the possibility of something happening in the future. So I would like to have an advance request that in the event that I had a catastrophic stroke or a heart attack that left me brain compromised to the point that I couldn't make my own decision, I would like to be able to have an advance request to say, under these conditions, these are the things that I would like to receive MAID at that time. So I think that's really how it would change the conversation and being, that kind of game-changing thing to really help us understand it better.
It sounds, we understand it, it sounds very reasonable, but there are critics who say that our MAID laws in Canada are far too loose, maybe far too permissive. How are we comparing to other countries in the world who may be doing this kind of treatment as well?
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is we actually have the best laws in the country. There are a lot of safeguards built in. There's a full eligibility criteria. In the US, for example, you have to be within 3 to 6 months of your death by a terminal illness. You have to be able to take the medication yourself. You have to have capacity. So right away, you eliminate anyone with ALS, anyone with dementia. Like, you're cutting out huge numbers of people who don't have the ability to choose. The other thing in Canada that we need to remember is the laws exist because of charter court challenges. So people, Carter and Truchon, who have challenged the law under the Constitution and the rights that we have as Canadians. So those laws are created in order to afford people the choices that they want. I think it's a great system.
That's great.
So, yeah. So, Dr. Prose, in some cases, people are choosing to die earlier than they might otherwise because of Canada's existing MAID laws. So, if advance requests were legal, what impact might this have?
I think people would write advance requests, as has been happening in Quebec, and people would be able to act on them. So having the advance request would allow the possibility of somebody who lost capability of being able to receive MAID.
So for both of you, if people are watching and they want access to advance requests because this is something that feels right for them, or maybe to talk to a loved one about this, what can they do?
Yeah, so I think the first thing they can do to change the law is to talk to their elected officials. So visiting our website, dyingwithdignity.ca, writing a letter to your member of parliament, the ministers of health and justice, to say this is what you want, and then working on an advanced care plan. So a document that you can put in place that won't give you MAID, but it will help people in your family, your loved ones, to know what you would like in terms of healthcare choices down the road if something does happen.
Is that like sort of alongside your will, or your, like,
exactly.
That would be there?
Exactly.
What are your thoughts?
Having a will and powers of attorney in place. If you love and care about your loved ones, do that for them. Put that in place. Don't let it get to the point where you are in extremis and they're having to try to figure out what might they have wanted, what decision should I make on their behalf. Having a power of attorney in place and having an advanced care directive educates the people that have to make those decisions so they know what you would want, because they have to make a decision based on what you would want, not what they would want for you, but what you would want. And if they don't know, they can't make that decidecision. So help them out.
So good. Dr. Perot and Helen, thank you so much for being here. Such an important conversation.
Thank you.
Oh, hopefully it will open up conversations in your home. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thanks so much.
There's never a dull moment at The Social.
We are going to have one heck of a time.
With hot takes and fiery debates.
I'm too old for Leonardo DiCaprio anyway.
We dive headfirst into juicy conversations.
Where are his wild oats now?
No topic is too messy.
I'm gonna blame all of the boyfriends that I've had.
No discussion too heated.
That is an invasion, in my opinion.
Just real talk and fresh opinions. Watch The Social, weekdays at 2 p.m. on CTV.
Extra, extra! The Social now streaming on Crave. Thanks a lot. This is awesome. You guys are out here. Streaming on Crave. Sorry. Oh, that's amazing. The Social, now also streaming on Crave.
All right, tomorrow on The Social, we're going to be talking about the federal government's big, bold budget coming out right about now. What is this going to mean for all of us in this specific time, right? We are in economic turmoil with the states, et cetera. So we've got finance expert Patty Lovett-Reed. We love her. She is super smart, and she's going to take us through this budget. Also, award-winning pastry chef Mr. Bake is going to be here with sweet treats for cold weather entertaining. I don't even know what that means.
I hope I am, but I don't
hope I am too.
Oh, I know.
We're all going to be fighting to be
you
in
got the
that
pasta
segment
today, so I feel like I deserve the
That's
bacon.
true. It's true.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you so much
You're
for
right.
being here, everybody. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye-bye.